As the Maddermarket Theatre's current marketing coordinator, it's quite funny looking at this programme from September 1921. I wonder if I would get away with producing something this vague and simple now. Probably not. On the left-hand page there it says, "The Norwich Players, for whom this theatre has been rebuilt, were formed in 1911 under the direction of Mr. Nugent Monk, and have gained some distinction by the continuous production of notable plays from all periods of literature, including," and then the programme goes on to list a few, before concluding that in all they have produced nearly 300 performances. Well, I can say that to date the Norwich Players have produced well over 1,000 performances, and I certainly wouldn't have enough space to list them in today's programme. And then the right-hand page advertises the Maddermarket's current show, which in September 1921 was As You Like It by William Shakespeare. You can see that they did 7 shows across the week of Monday the 26th of September to the 1st of October. Now the prices of the tickets are interesting. It seems that there are 4 different prices: 5 shillings, 3 and 6, 2 and 6, or 1 and 6. We're not given any information as to what qualifies one to purchase a cheaper ticket over the more expensive one, but I can tell you what that money translates to in today's money and how that compares with our ticket prices today. So, 5 shillings was roughly £7.26, 3 and 6 was roughly £5.09, 2 and 6, £3.63, and 1 and 6 was about £2.18. Our full price tickets for Norwich Players shows today are £13. Concessions are £11 and early bird tickets can be purchased for just £9.95. So given that there is 99 years between the prices on this programme and today's, our prices haven't actually increased all that much. You're getting a great deal, everyone, you're welcome. And then at the bottom of that right-hand page, it details box office hours, which are 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 5 to 6 p.m. at Norwich Library, St Giles, Norwich. And that tickets will be on sale after the 19th of September, which is just 1 week before the show is due to begin. That's a little bit crazy to think they started selling tickets with only 1 week to go. We sell ours months and months in advance. They certainly weren't offering any early bird deals, that's for sure, and season tickets in the way we know them today were out of the question. Especially if you look onto the next page, there on the left-hand side, the Norwich Players list some of the performances they hope to produce in the following season. And the pencil marks on the next pages show what programming actually stuck and what had to be changed. Can you imagine if we listed performances on our website that we hope will be performing on our stage? I think we'd have quite a few complaints and certainly not many ticket sales. But to give them their due, this was their first month the theatre was open, so they were probably still figuring some things out. Their opening statement, as it were, on the right-hand side of this page, explains that the plays will be performed without an interval or interruption. So no ice creams and drinks at the bar. Again, that would not be very popular with our audiences today, so not something we'll be reintroducing, I don't think. And then another thing I notice about this programme, which as a marketer today I would not get away with abstaining from, is the lack of description about the play's narrative. Whether it's because it wasn't a done thing, or perhaps more likely Shakespeare plays were more known then, today people like to know, to an extent, what to expect. Also, another thing which we no longer honour today is the fact that Nugent Monk refused to list his actors' names, as you can see here. My suspicion being this was to maintain the aesthetic distance, keep the audience in the world of the play, which if we return to the opening statement, it claims performances will be performed without overproduction so that the audience can share the emotion with the player instead of being cut off by picture frame and footlights. These stylistic choices, combined with the lack of interval, suggests that Monk was keen to keep the audience's conscious reality at bay and the fictional reality of the play at the forefront of their minds. Today's generation, though, are much more accustomed to a dynamic aesthetic distance. Audiences are used to the ebbing and flowing in and out of their reality and the reality of the play. For example, if any of you watched Boudica last November, there were lots of entrances and exits through the auditorium, which potentially drew the audience away from the reality of their play and into their actual reality, where they became aware that they were sat in the auditorium. This is by no means a negative. With this awareness, the audience are able to draw parallels between their two realities, which enriches their theatre experience. Boudica had even more poignancy when the then current concerns surrounding Brexit accompanied it. Whether the playing with aesthetic distance be a conscious decision of the directors is of course debatable. I would say usually it is rather more the style that theatre takes nowadays, which is why we now have no issues with listing the names of our actors, when perhaps 100 years ago they did. It was not the done thing. Anyway, I got a little sidetracked there, but I find aesthetic distance very exciting, so I hope you found it an interesting anecdote. I've quite enjoyed comparing this marketing material to today's publications. We certainly use a lot more colour, design and imagery in today's programmes, and specificity is an expectation we have to meet. I hope you've enjoyed listening.